guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing this video because I have had so many questions from a lot of my Instagram followers and YouTube subscribers about how I grew my Instagram to reaching 10,000 followers in just maybe 6 months or so. I wanted to make this video because I am here to share my strategies. I'm here to share exactly what I did. I'm here to be completely open and honest with you guys. I know when I was looking to grow my Instagram, and I still am trying to grow even more, but when I was trying to grow my Instagram, I got on YouTube, I did everything I could do. I did research, I checked blog posts out, and a lot of the posts were just super generic and just saying things like you need to find your niche, you need to be able to provide high quality photos to your feed, you need to have a cohesive feed, you need to have a good bio. To be honest, those tips are just kind of generic to me. Those tips are just something that I already knew, just being a creative person. And so I really wanted to just take the time to sit down and create this video to really help anybody who is trying to grow your Instagram just like I was. I think it's incredibly important to remember that I was in the same boat that a lot of my followers were in at one point. I was at just 1,000 followers. When I started really working on my Instagram back in March, I think I was at maybe 700 followers total. And so I obviously have grown and hit my goal super fast. To be completely honest with you guys, you are not, and I mean this, you are not going to grow to 10,000 just by letting it happen. You are going to have to put dedicated time, you're going to have to put work into this, you're gonna have to do a trial and an error and see what strategy works the best for you. I have tried so many different ways to grow my Instagram. I have tried doing follow loops, I have tried doing giveaways, I have tried, just being authentic and engaging with other accounts and trying to authentically get followers that way. I have tried cross-promoting from my YouTube to my Instagram and from my Instagram to my YouTube to gain followers and subscribers. I have bought followers. Oh my God, I said it, you guys, I did. I'm not gonna lie. I spent $5 and I bought 300 followers. And before you turn off this video and say, oh my gosh, I can't trust her anymore, I am here to share the positives and the negatives for every single tactic that I used. I am going to honestly tell you what I've done and what has worked and what hasn't worked. I'm gonna tell you why I did what I did for each way that I gained followers. And honestly, you guys, when I shared with a couple people that I did buy 300 of my followers, another negative aspect of it, and this will probably be the same with you guys, and I'm definitely not recommending this strategy, but another negative aspect of it is it does question your worth. It does make people question, is she telling the truth? Did she really only buy 300 followers? How did she grow so fast? So yes, it does make people question everything you've done, and I totally get that. I will say the number one way how I gained followers so fast was by using the mass follow and the mass unfollow strategy, which I will get into here in a second. As I was saying, you guys, not everybody's going to agree with these tactics. Some people may say they're dishonest, some people may say they're unethical, but at the end of the day, I am growing a business here, I am running a business, and I have reasons for everything that I've done. No matter what you do on social media, you're going to have to put work into getting followers if you want a high follower account. It doesn't just happen unless you're famous or something. I'm a normal person who is really working my butt off on social media to not only grow my social media, but to also create an extra income for my family. So that is why I'm putting all this effort into social media. If you guys are not familiar with my channel or who I am, I have a daughter, I stay at home with my daughter, and the reason I'm able to stay at home with my daughter and continue to stay at home with my daughter is because I am helping provide an income to my family through social media and through this business of a brand that I've created. I'm gonna be completely honest, I have gotten some very negative feedback about any type of way I use to grow my Instagram. So there's a lot of people who don't agree with one strategy but think their strategy is the best. There's a lot of people who say, well, I want an authentic following. Guys, everybody wants an authentic following. Who doesn't want an authentic following? But unless you want to run your Instagram for years upon years, you're never gonna have an authentic following. So I'm sure you guys are wondering, what is an authentic following? To me, this is how I reach out and get my authentic following. I get authentic following through engagement. If I am engaging on posts that are on the popular feed on Instagram, if I'm liking their photos and commenting on their photos, and then they see that, that person sees that, or that account sees that, and then they follow me because they like my engagement and they see my feed and they like my feed. That's an authentic following. Another authentic following to me is when I cross-promotion my Instagram onto my YouTube and tell you guys to go follow me because I'm showing you my outfit of the day or something on Instagram. That's cross-promotion, and that is authentic following to me. Every single day, and I have done this for the past 3 or 4 months since I became really serious about Instagram. Every single day I will take about 15 to 20 minutes, not a lot, I need to get better at this. I'll take about 15 to 20 minutes and I will authentically engage with accounts who I'm not familiar with. So I will go to the popular feed and I will find a photo that I like or a photo that fits with my niche, and I will engage with that photo if it's something that I like. I will comment if it's a post that means something to me. So that's the first thing that I do, and that's something that has really helped just get my name out and help me connect with other moms. That is just part of how I gain authentic followers. Okay, so on the other hand, I do have non-organic followers. As I mentioned before, yes, I bought 300 followers. I am not ashamed of doing this. I'm not happy with the followers. I'm not ashamed of it though, because I was able to learn how this process works, why people buy followers. I understand it now. It's immediate satisfaction. The reason that I bought the followers that I did was because the opportunity was there. It was $5 for 300 followers like that. And honestly, my drive for wanting to grow kicked in, and 300 was the smallest I could buy, so that's what I did. These accounts are fake accounts. These accounts do not engage with your photos or your posts. These accounts are pretty much alien accounts that are eventually going to be shut down by Instagram. So these are not the people I want to have following me, and honestly, I would never do this again, but I want to be completely honest with you guys at the same time. So now that I've shared that with you guys, the main way how I've been growing is through using the mass follow and the mass unfollow strategy. Some people are not going to agree with this because they say it's dishonest, they say it's rude to follow somebody and then unfollow them, but that's not what I'm doing. I use 2 different apps. I use the Captivate app and I use the Cleaner app. I believe these apps are only available for iPhones, so I'm not 100% positive if there's something similar out there for an Android, but I do have an iPhone, so I use these for my iPhone. And also, just as a disclaimer, there is a huge chance that this could flag your account. There is a huge chance that this could get your Instagram shut down. I get that, and I am seeing this as a business. I'm taking risks for my business. I'm not taking advantage of these apps in the system, and I am following the Instagram rules and keeping my follows and unfollows under the certain amount that you're supposed to unfollow or follow at a time per hour. The guidelines for Instagram say that you can follow and unfollow 160 people per hour. And for the past 3 or 4 months, I have been doing this as much as I can. And not only am I following around 160 people per hour, and then unfollowing, I am only unfollowing, or I have been in the past, I've actually started just to clean up my account a little bit, but in the past I have been only unfollowing those who have not followed me back. So I'm not being sneaky, I'm not being rude to other accounts. I'm unfollowing those who don't follow me. So you're probably wondering, what are the pros to this? There are so many pros to mass following. Number 1, this is getting your name out there. It's getting you exposed. It's getting you more exposure to accounts who you may not necessarily see. Okay, so when you're using the Captivate app, it's right there. It's gonna bring you up to this Discover page, which I don't typically use. What I typically do is I will go to search. So I am going to type in one of my friend's name on Instagram. Her name is Britt Maloney. Okay, so after I do this, it shows that I'm following her. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to her follower account. That's gonna process. And you're gonna want to do this to accounts that are similar to yours. So it's really nice because you can pick and choose who you actually wanna follow. So one thing you can do is you can go to quick select and you can select all. Also, what I would recommend doing is never following or unfollowing more than 50 at a time per this app's recommendations. However, sometimes I push the limit and I will do a little bit more than 50. So right now it's selected 79. That's one option because you can select that way. Another way, so let's say I just wanted to go through and follow certain accounts. So I'm gonna look for accounts who look similar to mine. Okay, so once I have those people selected, I'm gonna go to actions and I'm going to add those people to a whitelist. Once your followers get added to a whitelist, that puts them in here so you won't accidentally follow them again. So if you accidentally unfollow them in the future, then you won't keep following them and then unfollowing them. So once they're on my whitelist, I am going to go to actions and follow. So I just followed 3 people. So the exposure is amazing, and not only is it a great thing for Instagram, but it's exposure for my YouTube channel as well, because people are going to see that, oh, Caitlin Nair followed me, I'm going to see who this girl's all about. They're going to get that notification that I followed them, they're gonna click on my name, more than likely, at least I do, and they're going to see my account. And then they're going to decide, is this a feed that I'd like to follow, or is this not a feed that I'd like to follow? It's probably for about every 160 people that I follow, I might get 30 people who follow me back. So if I'm doing this every single day for maybe about 4 to 5 hours and I'm averaging about 30 people following me back out of the 160 that I mass follow, that's what, maybe around 100 new followers a day. So it's definitely possible, and it's definitely a great way to build up your follower count fast. So now on the other side of it, the Cleaner app, which is a separate app, this is a mass unfollow app. As I was saying, I use Cleaner to mass unfollow accounts who did not follow me back. That is how I grew so fast, because I noticed when I started mass unfollowing everybody who I previously mass followed, I would lose, I would gain maybe 30 followers and then maybe lose about 10 of them. So I wasn't gaining as fast. So yeah, I was following way more accounts than I want to follow and way more accounts that I can keep up with and engage with, but it was helping me grow. That was one of my top strategies that I did to help grow to 10,000 in just a few months. With the Cleaner app, if you're wanting to unfollow people and mass unfollow people on Cleaner, here's what you're going to do. So I have my settings set to show me people who are not following me back. So all these people right here are not following me back. If you want to set your settings to like that, all you have to do is go to settings and scroll down. And you'll want to filter the whitelist users, the follower list, and the following list. These are all the people who are not following me back. I only unfollow the people who do not follow me back. So I'm going to click select, and I'm going to click select all. Next, I'm going to unfollow. So I am currently unfollowing 167 people who are people who I did follow but did not follow my Instagram account back. Back to the comments that I get about wanting to have an authentic profile, have an authentic following, and just be authentic in general. I like to consider myself to be a very truthful person, and I am not going to lie to you guys about anything. I think by now you should understand that, since I'm sharing all my deep dark secrets on Instagram with you guys, who majority of you follow me on Instagram. But the way I see it is there is so many secrets and people who just don't want to share any success that they've had, and I don't agree with that. I feel very passionate about helping others succeed because I am where I'm at because of my followers and because of my YouTube subscribers. So I feel like it is my right to share these experiences of how I grew my Instagram with you guys and with other moms and other accounts who are trying to grow theirs as well. There's no reason to hide this. If you get on Google and you type in what are the best ways to grow your Instagram, the mass unfollow is one of the top ways to grow. The reason why I do unfollow accounts and I don't want to follow everybody who follows me back, it is a good balance to have between your followers and between the people who you follow. You don't want to be following the same amount of people who follow you, and the reason for that is because you do want to build perceived value. And the reason you want to build perceived value for your brand and for your Instagram account is because the whole reason, for the most part, I don't know anybody who's doing this not to create a business, but the whole reason that you're growing your Instagram, at least it is for me, is to help get more jobs and build your brand. Honestly, I can't keep up with social media and I can't keep up with YouTube and Instagram if I'm not getting compensated in some way. And I'm sure you guys feel the same way. This is a full-time job. It is absolutely a full-time job for a part-time pay. Guys, so it's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of effort. You're reaching out to companies hoping to seal a deal on, you know, whether you're doing an exchange for product or trying to make money to pay your bills. It's all work and it's all something that you're doing to grow your business. So one thing I didn't mention that I do want to add about the Captivate and Cleaner apps, another thing that I was doing, which meant a lot to me, is whenever I found an account who I mass followed, who was in that jungle of the mass follower accounts that I followed, whenever I found an account who I noticed was actively engaging with my photos or actively, you know, engaging with my YouTube, who I found from Instagram, or just somebody who like messaged me and said, oh my gosh, thank you so much for the follow, you're such an inspiration, I love your feed. What I would do is I would take those followers who were part of that mass follow jungle that was mixed up in there, I would take those people and I would add them to my whitelist and cleaner. So the whitelist and cleaner helps you not accidentally unfollow somebody. So you wanna add all the people and all the accounts who you don't wanna accidentally unfollow to the whitelist. So I do feel like this mass follow unfollow thing can be a little cruel and a little iffy sometimes, but I do think there is a positive way to do it. If you notice somebody is taking the time out of their day to engage with you, give them some credit for it, keep following them. At least that's what I've been doing. I know sometimes it can be hard to like keep track of that, and I know I've accidentally unfollowed accounts who I did not mean to follow, but I appreciate them reaching out to me. Or if you guys notice that I'm unfollowing you or something, it's probably an accident, especially if like we've engaged in the past. I don't just unfollow people just to unfollow people, but I do unfollow people who do not engage with me, if that makes sense. So I think that pretty much shares all of my Instagram strategies. I think the main thing to take away from this is to authentically engage so you can get authentic followers. That's probably the most important part, and that is also the most challenging and hardest work, but it is very important, especially for your brand. And then the second thing to take away is that the mass follow and unfollow was a huge strategy for me and what really helped me become successful with growing my Instagram. People have asked me how I am making money on YouTube and Instagram. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't know if this is like a coincidence or if this just happened, but ever since I hit the 10,000 mark on Instagram last week, I believe it was last week, I have landed 3 additional jobs and I'm making more than I ever have this month. And I don't know if it's because of the 10,000 followers that I got or if it's just a coincidence. I really fast just realized I didn't talk about this. Why is it so important to get to 10,000 followers on Instagram? Here's why. There are a lot of marketing influencing sites that do require a 10,000 follower minimum from Instagram before you can apply for jobs. A lot of them also require a 500 average likes on a photo for applying for jobs or even just getting accepted into their program. One I'm specifically talking about that I just got accepted into that I'm really excited about because there's a lot of opportunity is a company called Rev Influence, and I think I said that right. And they're just a marketing influencing platform where you can apply for jobs for Instagram or YouTube. Things like that really play into effect when you are trying to grow your Instagram. There's a lot of new doors that do open with having 10,000 followers. Specifically, I'm sure you guys are aware of this, but the swipe up feature, you guys, that's great and that's genius for anybody who's a blogger or a vlogger because I can straight up link my YouTube video, and I did this the other day, and as soon as I linked it, I had so many more views because it's easier access for my Instagram followers to see my YouTube content. Getting to 10,000 followers on Instagram really made sense for me as a brand. So I spoke about Rev Influence, which is a social media marketing platform. If you guys think you fit that profile, definitely check them out. They have different standards for YouTube. I actually am not able to use it for YouTube yet, although I have had some private deals through them. I think you have to have 500 subscribers, 50 videos, and a 2,000 view minimum on the videos, on your YouTube videos, and I don't have that 2,000 average. The platform that I use for YouTube, in case you guys are wondering, is a platform called Grapevine, and I believe this is only for YouTube, and I've had a lot of luck with this company, and basically these social media marketing companies, they do take a portion of what you charge, but you can pretty much apply to jobs on there and you list your rates, either accept you or they decline you. And so it's a great way to really just have a mutual understanding with a company that you are going to want to be paid for your work, because there are a lot of companies out there who do try to take advantage, especially of smaller accounts, because they don't have a huge following, but they do try to take advantage of free marketing. And with that point, I want you guys to be aware that I don't always make money for showing product. It depends on the product, it depends on what it is, it depends on the worth of the product. If you guys are trying to figure out what to charge companies or what you're valued at, even smaller accounts have a value, and you guys should always be attempting to try to make a little bit of money when you're promoting these items, because it is a lot of work for you guys. It's a lot of work for me. I use a platform called socialbluebook.com, and this is a great website. And the reason I love this is because I can plug in my YouTube and I can plug in my Instagram and I can see what I'm valued, and I can see what the high value and the low value is, and I can see what it costs for me to make a dedicated video, what it costs for a shout out on Instagram, just things like that. I would highly recommend, if you guys are into the influencing world, Definitely check out socialbluebook.com to value your worth. A platform that I really like for Instagram is a platform called Massive Sway. This is the one I've had most luck with on Instagram. I really like that one. I know a lot of my friends, I haven't had luck with this one, but a lot of my friends have really liked Social Native. That's another option, and I will try to link all these down below so you guys can check them out. I think I have answered a lot of what I have been asked. I have been getting so many questions from you guys on Instagram after one of my latest posts saying that I would share a little bit about how I grew on Instagram, and I told you guys I would just make a video. This video was kind of more towards my Instagram followers, but hopefully some of my YouTube subscribers can benefit from this as well. I have around 45 DMs sitting in my Instagram right now just for questions about how to grow your Instagram. So I'm actually just going to answer some of these questions right here with you guys. So majority of the people are asking, what did I do? How did I do it? To share my secrets. So I've already done that. I now have somebody asking, this is Mo_PRUETT off of Instagram. She said, how did you get started with your blog and adding Instagram into it? I have been thinking about blogging, but I don't know where to begin. When I created a YouTube account back in March, I kind of just, it clicked with me that I could cross promote. I could do, I could brand myself on YouTube and on Instagram to help just brand myself as a whole. So I really started putting focus into both platforms at the same time. And I'm similar, I mean, if you look at it, my numbers are similar. I have 8,000-ish followers on YouTube, and then I have about 10,000 on Instagram. So there is like a cohesive amount of followers there. I just kind of dove into the vlogging world. I'm still learning. I'm definitely like by no means like know what I'm doing. I'm still changing things, trying to figure out what works. But I think it's just a great way to really work together, and also it's a great way to be able to reach out to brands and say, hey, I have this many followers on Instagram, this many followers on YouTube. I have 2 platforms that I can share your product on, and so it gives you a better chance of really sealing some deals. So what I would recommend to Mo_Pruitt is just to really work on them together. Cross promotion, that is huge. Cross promote your blog onto your Instagram and cross promote your Instagram onto your blog. Okay, so Business of Blonde on Instagram, she wants to know, how do you find time to take photographs for Instagram? And I know there are a lot of full-time working parents out there, working moms, who don't have as much time to devote to Instagram, to social media like I do. So I'm lucky enough that I am able to stay home, and I'm able to do this pretty much full-time. I will say I do all of my photographs for the most part myself. I use a tripod, I use a remote, I use my DSLR D5100, and I take all my photos myself. Sometimes it's a little embarrassing because I'm in public or something like that, but whatever. No, I plan out my weeks, I plan out my days. I know, I need to photograph this item, or I need to do this kind of post for this kind of day. So I think it really just goes into planning out what your day is going to be like and what you're going to do during your baby's nap time. That's typically when I work on all of this stuff. Okay, so this is a great question. I've actually got this from a couple people, but this one specific is from 2 kids raising kids on Instagram. She says, I've gotten a lot of flack for the same thing. I've been asked, why would I want to help my competition? Yes, that is a great question, and I've actually thought about this. The way I see it is that there is competition whether you're helping somebody or not. There are so many blogs, so many bloggers out there. There is just a huge range of competition. So when you're sending a pitch to a company, companies are not just looking at your followers. They're looking at, they're looking at your content, they're looking at your photos, they're looking at your lifestyle, who you are as a person, what you represent. There is so much more than showing your secrets about how you grew your Instagram. So when people say that I am possibly sharing my business tactics with my competition, I don't see it that way at all. I see myself as helping others who are in the same position as I was just a couple months ago and are doing the same thing I do to help provide for their family, or just, make a little extra money on the side. Also, the same way, this goes back to being authentic. I don't think it would be very authentic of me to just sit here and pretend that I got to 10,000 followers without doing anything and make you guys think that I just magically got 10,000 followers, because that's not how this works at all. So honestly, I think it's way more authentic to actually be open and share my strategies with you guys. I really hope you guys appreciated this video. I kind of made this video like last minute because I've been getting so many questions. So if you guys enjoyed this video and if it helped you at all, please give this video a thumbs up. Also, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you haven't already, obviously go follow me on Instagram. I would love that. And if you are coming from this video to Instagram, do me a favor, DM me on Instagram and say, hey, I followed you, and I will add you to my whitelist on the Cleaner app so I do not accidentally unfollow you. And again, guys, I appreciate everybody who has been so supportive about all of this. I think we need to remember at the end of the day, nobody's going to authentically follow. That's just how this works. So best of luck to you guys. I will link everything, all the apps, everything like that down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.